Today, on Final Witness, Cold Case Files. It was just after midnight on May 14, 2008, when 19-year-old Brandon Swanson found himself stranded on a desolate gravel road in rural Minnesota. His car, a green Chevy Lumina, had slipped into a ditch, leaving him unable to drive any farther. Frustrated, but not panicked, he pulled out his phone and called his parents for help. Brandon had just finished his first year at Minnesota West Community and Technical College. That evening, he had been celebrating with friends before deciding to make the 30-mile drive home to Marshall. His parents, Brian and Annette, answered his call around 1:54 a.m. He assured them he was unhurt and believed he was near the small town of Lind. Unable to see his car's exact location, his parents set out to find him, remaining on the phone as he described his surroundings. But when they arrived in Lind, there was no sign of Brandon. He insisted he was near the town, but no landmarks matched what he was describing. Frustrated, he decided to walk toward the lights of a nearby town. His father stayed on the phone, listening as Brandon made his way through the dark countryside. For nearly 47 minutes, Brian Swanson could hear his son's footsteps crunching against gravel and his occasional muttered frustration at the terrain. Then, suddenly, Brandon's voice cut through the static. "Oh, shit!" The line went dead. Brian and Annette called back over and over, but there was no answer. They drove around for hours, searching, calling out his name into the darkness, but Brandon had vanished. The next morning, police launched a search. It didn't take long to find Brandon's abandoned car, but it wasn't in Lind. It was almost 25 miles away, on the outskirts of Taunton. Had he been disoriented, thinking he was somewhere he wasn't? Or was something else at play? Tracking dogs followed his scent for a short distance, leading toward the Yellow Medicine River. Some feared he had fallen in and drowned, but there was no evidence of a body in the water. Others speculated that he had succumbed to the cold, wandering further into the wilderness. But despite extensive searches, no remains, clothing, or personal belongings were ever found. There is another possibility, one more sinister. What if Brandon didn't just get lost? His last words on the phone suggest something startled or frightened him. Could he have encountered someone in the darkness? Someone who didn't want him to be found? Years have passed, but no new evidence has surfaced. His phone was never recovered, his bank accounts remain untouched, and his parents are left with only silence. To this day, the disappearance of Brandon Swanson remains one of the most baffling mysteries in modern true crime history.